And hello and thank you for joining us. Welcome to Community Connection Hour presented by San Jose Public Library. During the month of August, we'll use this time to hold a Back to School Speaker Series. Our focus for today is on adult education and specialized programs. Our guest speakers for today are Luiza and Kathy from Eastside Union High School District, and Ellen from San Jose Public Library. If you have any questions, please ask in the chat and we'll be more than happy to answer them. We can take questions in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. For more information about our programs, please check out www.sjpl.org. And Victoria, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you guys for coming to join us and play with us as we get ready for a new school year. And we are grateful to our presenters from Eastside Adult Ed and from our San Jose Library sharing adult programming. So I'm so glad that you're here. And we're going to start with Kathleen Frye.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to be here. Thank you for the invitation, Victoria and others. Present. There we go. Okay. And so I am Kathy Frye, and I'm a site and program supervisor. I oversee ESL and citizenship and IET, which is, I will share with you what that is later on in the presentation. I'm grateful to be co-hosting this in terms of the presentation from Eastside Adult Education with Luiza Gazizova, who is one of our phenomenal ESL teachers. Luiza, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Luiza Gazizova. I'm an ESL teacher and I'm working at Eastside Adult Education. Eastside Adult Education.
Eastside Adult Education is the largest adult school in Northern California. And we have many different sites. These pictures, these photos here are of our three main sites. Independence Adult Education Center, Overfelt Adult Education Center, and then we have about 12 to 14 classes at Andrew Hill High School. We also have many other classes which we'll be sharing soon. What kinds of learning opportunities are we able to share with you? We have several different departments. We have adult secondary education, adult basic education, career technical education, English as a second language, which is our largest department, and citizenship. Who are our students? Students come from many different countries. Our largest population are Vietnamese and Spanish speaking students, but we also have students from China, Tibet, Thailand, Mexico, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Peru, Dominican Republic, Cuba, the Philippines, India, the Ukraine, Russia, and much more. The ages of our students are from 17 to 92 years old. The students are at varied skill levels, everybody from basic literacy to skilled professional immigrants and refugees. Some reasons why our adults attend adult education classes. One, some students come to finish their high school diploma or their GED or the equivalency, the HiSET. Others come to learn basic literacy skills. Not everybody in their country has the opportunity for an education. So they come here and they're given that opportunity through adult education. To develop English as a second language. And we teach English as a second language for many different reasons. To help your children to develop workforce skills so that you can get a job or get a better job or retain the job that you have. To become a citizen or to become an active member of your community. We have two people who are transition specialists for Eastside Adult Education. And those people meet individually and sometimes in small groups with students. They provide guidance and direction in planning for your future education, finding a job, getting job training, and referrals to resources. Right now, especially with COVID, we need resources in terms of vaccinations, testing, etc. They're able to provide you with that information. Housing, food, other health-related issues, and immigration. There's a lot of different resources within our community that we're so proud to be able to network with, one of them being the San Jose Public Libraries. As I noted, we have several different departments. One of the departments is adult basic education. In adult basic education, the primary program goals are to improve basic skills in reading, writing, and mathematics. As I noted earlier, some students from other countries are not able to attend public schools in their countries. They might live in mountainous regions. There might not be a school near them. I've done a lot of work in Haiti. And in my work, I've seen why it is that some students who come to the United States are so happy to be able to receive an education. Computer literacy skills, especially right now, we're in the 21st century. We're dealing with how is it that we actually are teaching, whether we teach face-to-face, online, or a hybrid course. Those computer literacy skills are very important. Some students didn't make it to finish their high school diplomas, so we have many different opportunities for those students. Through adult secondary education, where they can earn their high school diploma, get their GED or HiSET. We also have a Spanish GED class for anybody who speaks Spanish and would feel more comfortable in taking a class in Spanish to get their high school diploma. The graduations that occur with adult secondary education is like no other from my point of view. The students who are graduating have had challenges, and the ability to actually graduate is a big joy for not just themselves, but also for their families. We have many classes in career technical education. We see some pictures here of a robot. We have a robotics class, and it's a fun class. The students get to learn how to create a robot and operate one, and in doing so, learn all about technology and mechanics and more. Here are some of the career technical education classes we offer. Certiport and WorkKey certification, health professions career paths, everything from medical assisting, we're looking into nursing and more. QuickBooks certified testing site. We are a QuickBooks certified testing site. Cisco Networking Academy, bookkeeping and accounting, and early childhood development. Also Microsoft Office skills, which should have been noted here. And then integrated education training. Some students want to be able to go into a career, any one of these careers or others, and yet they lack the language skills. Integrated education training is all about teaching both the career technical education skills plus the language development skills. We always have two teachers teaching those classes. One would be teaching the language of whatever one of these content areas are, and the other one would be teaching the actual skills that would be involved in doing such a job. English as a second language. Immigrant integration is a term that basically means helping our immigrants to be able to integrate into the community. And when people come from different countries, when I go from the United States to another country, we have some adjustments to make. We don't know the systems. We don't know the people. We don't know the agencies. And so what we at Adult Education do, especially with our transition specialists, is we help our students to be able to integrate into the community so that they can be communicating with their child's teacher, go to school, get a job, learn about how to schedule a doctor's appointment, how to take a bus, all of the things that one would need to know when coming to a different country. Use the bank, so many more things. Then there's study skills. We teach study skills through tutorial and through the ESL classes, workforce skills, which I've already mentioned, and technology skills. At this point, I'd like to have Luiza Gazizova talk a little bit about her class there at Alum Rock Public Library. Luiza?
Hi again, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Luiza. I'm an ESL instructor at Alum Rock Library. It's my second year at this library, at this location, and I'm very happy to be the part of this amazing team. Victoria, Juliana, and other library staff members, they're so helpful, so enthusiastic, and they come to our class on regular basis, like almost every day. Yes, and they share all those endless resources that are available for free for the students. So they let us know about the coming events in the community, about affordable services, about library resources, and free food, and you just name it. And a few words about my class. So my class starts, okay, give me one sec. Do you want to continue? Stop others? Okay. May I share 2 slides, Kathy?
Sure, I'll stop share and then continue afterwards.
Thank you so much. So this is the schedule of my class. View, present. All right. Yes, so this is the class schedule. So we meet 4 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And our class is a morning class from 10 a.m. to 12:40 p.m. So we have the class through Zoom. So we switched to online learning when the pandemic started, and we continue to have our class in Zoom. And it turned out that it works for very many students. It's very convenient for stay-at-home moms, for those students who have part-time job in the evening or in the afternoon. So it works, and students are happy to learn English through Zoom. And as Kathy mentioned already, the current class is very, very diverse in all ways. So the age range is from early 20s to late 70s. The class is very diverse in terms of proficiency level. So we have students from beginning high to advanced low. And also students come from a big number of countries, from Vietnam, Mexico, Indonesia, give me one sec, Egypt, Colombia. Yes, and the only thing where my class lacks diversity is gender. We have only female students. And last year, Victoria is very disappointed, Victoria. So last year also I had about like 16, 17 students, and all of them were female students. Okay, so of course we welcome all genders, but this is how it is right now. And since the class is online class, we use a lot of online resources, online textbooks, authentic websites, articles, YouTube channels, and we have a lot of fun. And I want to share with you a picture that gives me so much warmth. Okay, give me one. Oh, come on, go. No. Oh, yeah. So this is our last year Christmas party. So we held a Christmas party in Zoom. And you see students were so excited. They were wearing costumes, they were singing songs, you know, and even COVID-19 didn't spoil the Christmas spirit. So we had it like in full value. So that's about all I wanted to say. And guys, I'm open for all the questions when it's time, when Kathy finishes her presentation. Thank you so much. And I'll stop sharing my slides. Mhm.
All right. I'll go back to sharing mine. Okay. So as Luiza was saying, she has many different proficiency levels in her class. So she has what's called a multi-level class. When we're talking about ESL levels, there's actually 6 different levels: pre-literacy, beginning low, beginning high, intermediate low, intermediate high, and advanced low. And the way in which we find out what level a student is at is through testing. It's not scary testing. It does take time. It's just for us to evaluate, how can we support you? What class do you need to be in? We do a lot of blended learning. At the main sites, we have computer labs, and we make those available to our students. The teachers have a computer lab schedule, and when we come to being able to return to everybody being online, I know that the library has an interest in making that happen for any of the library / East Side adult education students, and to where they could also use perhaps not computers, but Chromebooks. We celebrate your accomplishments. We know how hard students work, and we find it important to be able to recognize your strengths. The schedule of classes at our main sites: in the mornings, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 to noon. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the afternoon, 12:30 to 3:40. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the evening, 6 to 9:10. This is just our main sites, the 3 that I mentioned in the beginning, which is Independence, Overfelt Adult Centers, and then Andrew Hill. We utilize a text called Ventures, which has an online workbook and many different resources for students. We use Zoom when we're teaching the online learning, or Google Meet. Most of our teachers, though, do use the Zoom. And this is when we also, our classes, our office at Overfelt and Independence Adult Centers are open from 8 in the morning till 8:30 in the evening. So if anybody has an interest in also joining some of the other classes, we invite you to do so. This year, we have some new classes. We have a class in Just Conversation. We have a class in ESL Academic Writing. We partner with Mission College to do the Early Childhood Development Program. These are some of the sites where we offer classes in addition to our main sites, and the schedules for these classes vary. Luiza shared with you the times for Dr. Roberto Cruz Alum Rock Branch Library, and I think the Tully Community Branch Library is the same, but in the moment, I'm not remembering. We, up until this year, for the last 20 years, have been doing classes at Montgomery Elementary School. That just changed due to COVID. Hopefully we will return. Linda Vista Elementary School, Captain Jason Dahl, Daniel Laron, and Franklin Elementary Schools, which are all part of Franklin McKinley Elementary Schools. Grail Family Services, where they offer the ESL, but so much more. The parenting classes, the parent-child classes, and then our adult classes. And then also Conexión to Community. It's very important to us to build student-teacher relationships. And here we have our citizenship teacher, Olga Kachina, and her students that are in, some of her students that are in the citizenship class. Much like the library, we have citizenship and we prepare students to be able to pass the citizenship test and go through the interview and pass the paper pencil test. We have fairs, career fairs, where we have employers come and they talk about the different job possibilities that students might look at, whether it be an immediate job or an apprenticeship. We have community resource fairs. And again, the library has participated in the community resource fairs. At the community resource fairs, we have people, agencies who come in, everybody from the library to agencies related to health, transportation, immigration, domestic violence, so much more. Sorry. We also have a student government. And this here is our previous student president. And he's now at a college and he's working a job for the city. The leadership skills that he developed in the student government really helped him to go forward in terms of him getting a job and continuing on with college. Plans going forward for fall 2021 semester. August 10th was our first day of school, and we are offering a combination of face-to-face instruction, hybrid, which means some days the teachers and the students are meeting at a site, and then the distance learning, which is what Luiza and some others are offering. And when a school district or a community-based organization is interested in us holding classes on their campus or in their building, we create a written contract called the Memorandum of Understanding. And K through 12 schools or districts recruit the adult students. And I shouldn't have just written K through 12 schools or district, because I know that Victoria has done an awesome job at recruiting some of the adult students in the library. Students pay for their books, and then the adult school hires and pays for the teacher. You had already seen in one of the first slides a picture of our fall catalog. I'm going to show you, I'm going to click this. And if everybody does get it, I will send Victoria, I will send you, or Luiza, either one or both of you, I will send you a link to this, but this is how it is that you would go through. You would go through the pages and you would find what it is that we have to offer. Okay. Now I want to get out of that. How do I get out of that? Okay.
You can just click presentation for library.
Say that again.
You can just click presentation for library at the top. Yeah, just open presentation, that's it. Oh, the next one, I think.
This one.
No, the next one. Presentation for library. No, you want to return to the present. Yeah, this one. Right?
There we go. Okay. So we're going to scroll down again. Okay, and so are there any questions? Questions, anyone?
I have a question. First, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate that. Great, lots of information. I even learned something new. So the first thing that pops in my mind is, how much does all this cost an adult learner?
It's free.
What?
It's free. And
You mean, oh my gosh, speak.
the only thing that the students will pay for are the books. So yeah, and sometimes classes with career technical education, and there are a few things that students will have to pay for, but it's minimal.
Wow.
And the reason why we can offer free tuition to our students is because of the fact that we test our students and we show the state the pre and the post test progress, and we show the state our attendance, and the state gives us dollars funding to be able to continue with offering free education to our adult students.
That is awesome. And so, and is this, do the adults have to be citizens, or it can be any adult that lives in the county? How does, what's
It
the,
can be any adult that's in the county, anybody. You're all welcome.
that's awesome. And then, so they can pick any of these different programs that you offer to get a certification in. And do you guys help them find a job and or transfer to a four-year college?
We do. The transition specialists play a key role in that. Sean Tran is our ESL transition specialist, and Sonia Espinola is our transition specialist for the other departments. And both of those people are very proactive and caring, compassionate individuals who help the students to be able to go to whichever direction they need to go in.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Ms. Kathy?
Like, we have a question in the chat.
Okay, in the chat. I will look at the chat.
So it says, how many years do we need to study for a technical career?
It depends on the type of career, because some careers will take more semesters than others, and some will just take a year. So if we're talking about early childhood development, there are 5 different classes, and 3 of the classes are taken with the adult school, and 2 of the classes are taken with Mission College for ESL. We don't just do the ESL though, we also do the early childhood development. And the wonderful thing about having partnerships is that we're able to share different resources with each other. So those students that started out in the adult school are able in their last year and a half to go to Mission College and work with children in the Early Childhood Development Center. And I was definitely impressed when I went for a field trip with one of the transition specialists and students to see that. There were so many different centers and activities for children. I had fun. I had fun making Play-Doh.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great question too. So another one just popped in my mind, which is, oh God, what was I gonna ask? Oh, can an adult enroll anytime, or do they have to start in the beginning of the school year?
That's a great question. We have what's called open enrollment. So
Open
students
enrollment.
can enter at any time. We don't encourage them to come at the end of a semester where there's only a couple of weeks left, because they don't get that much. But throughout most of the semester, they were encouraging students to come and join us.
And you might have said this in your presentation, but is everything on Zoom, or do some students have to come to the building for classes?
Yes, I did say that in my presentation, but that's a good question. Some of our classes are online, like the ones at the library and the elementary schools. And the other classes are actually face-to-face, where we have the students come into the school. We are talking about the possibility, but that has not been a firm decision yet, about doing some more hybrid classes, where a hybrid class means that a couple of days you're going to school, and then other days you're working online with the teacher.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. Luiza, did you have your hand raised?
Yes, I have a question for Kathy. Kathy, can our students enroll in 2 classes at one at the same time? Can they take 2 classes?
Yes, they can. It depends on which classes they are. But yes, many of our students are enrolled in more than one class. Some of our students are enrolled in a morning and an afternoon class. Some of our students are enrolled in a morning and evening class. We also have what's called distance learning, and distance learning is independently paced. So you meet the distance learning teacher will meet with the student once a week. And the student gets to use this computer software program called Burlington English. And from that program, the student looks at what it is that he or she can handle for that week. And then the teacher can track their work in the Burlington English platform. So that's sometimes students will take a class in one area and then a class that's distance learning. Does that answer your question, Luiza?
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Okay, anybody else have any questions or comments for adult ed, for Eastside Adult Ed? Okay, let's give them a hand. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And our next presenter is going to be Ellen. And Ellen is from the San Jose Public Library, our colleague from PAR and our online adult high school program.
Thank you very much, Victoria. And for all of the other staff who are on this call, I appreciate it. And I just wanted to welcome you and to congratulate you for choosing to go forward with your education, because we focus a lot on kids, but we often forget about ourselves. So it's important to remember that we can really affect our kids by continuing our education. And I have to say that this last year and a half, I have continued my education just by learning how to use Zoom and struggling with that and failing and trying again. I think I was just reviewing some notes and it reminded me that failure is a really important part of learning. So I'm first in that line. For the first 6 months or so, I couldn't teach a class by myself. I had to have somebody doing the Zoom while I was doing the teaching. And I'm mostly able to solo it right now, to go ahead and teach and Zoom. And it's fun because, as I said, I feel as though my brain is just continually taking in new information. Sometimes I feel like I can't take in any more information, but just a little bit about my experience in the last year and a half. As Victoria mentioned, I work for the San Jose Public Library. I started in 2007, but before that, at the beginning of my career, I started as a volunteer adult literacy tutor with the Oakland Public Library. And I decided that that was so wonderful that I would change careers. So I went back to school and I got adult ed teaching credentials. I actually taught adult ed for a while, adult basic education, and English as a second language. So that was fun and instructive for me, and I hope for my students as well. And then had a variety of jobs in a variety of adult literacy programs. So that's what I'm doing now. And I've been at the library as a literacy program specialist since 2007. And so almost 14 and a half years. And I started out actually at the Hillview Branch Library as the coordinator of the Family Learning Center there. So if you see something that says FLC, we're talking about the Family Learning Centers. And then I moved over to Partners in Reading, which is what I've been doing for most of my time, most of the 14 years. So I think the best part of my job is when I get to work with learners and help them build their skills. And I actually think that we have somebody on this call who's in more than one of our classes. So if you want to speak up or raise your hand at some point and give a little testimonial about what you've been doing, you can go ahead and do that. If you don't want to, I certainly understand that. I know there were some connection problems as well, so she may not be on the call anymore. So anyway, what Partners in Reading does, we are a service of the City of San Jose and the San Jose Public Library. We started out 32 years ago, and we started out helping people with just adult basic literacy services. So the ability to read and write and use technology. So we started that where we train volunteer tutors and match them with adults. And we have expanded to include English as a second language and a lot more with technology, especially in the last year and a half. And we also have a high school diploma program, and we have a program for people who have completed the high school diploma program and then want to go on to earn a bachelor's degree. That's very limited. We have only a few scholarships available for that. And we also have a new program that if you have any kids who are in some of the high schools in the East Side School District, they may know about this already. It's called San Jose Aspires, and that helps people who may be the first in their family to go to college to prepare during their high school years so that they can go on to college. So a lot of different things going on, but we started with helping people with their basic literacy skills. So you have to be an adult, you have to live or work in San Jose, and you have to commit to a minimum of 6 months and meeting twice a week. And as you may have guessed, right now that meeting is going to be on Zoom, most likely. We're not having people meet at the libraries in person. Once it's safe to do so, then most of the tutoring will probably switch back to being in person. A lot of people have found that Zoom is actually more convenient than getting to a library with their busy schedules, and we certainly understand that. It's difficult to replace the in-person learning now. So we pair adults who want to build their skills with adults who have been trained to tutor. We pair them up and they become partners in reading, and that's where our name comes from. And so they meet for a minimum of 6 months, twice a week, and then other people have been meeting for years. So that's what they do. And the learners get to decide what to work on. So I heard from a learner this morning who is trying to prepare for her citizenship exam. And so she's working with her tutor on that. And then other people, they may need to get a better job, so that they work on that instead. And it varies. Whatever the learners need the most, we will help them with that. And they just have to really let their tutor know what they want to work on. So that's a little bit about Partners in Reading. I mentioned that we switched over to Zoom at the beginning of the pandemic, and we're still doing that. We have probably 5 or 6 classes on Zoom, and they range from 4 people to 8 or 10 people, and it's interesting because we get to be together most weeks, because the schedule has really been a lot easier than actually getting to the library. So we work on reading news stories, and the news class is called Good News, because the news has been so difficult in the last year that I thought that it would be good just to pick on positive stories, and every week we find them. It's easy to do that. So that's been fun. And then we have a higher level class that's reading more challenging material, and then we have conversation classes on Zoom, and we had a video class where people watch TED Ed videos and then discuss them. So we have a variety of different things going on. We're trying to switch those so that volunteers are now teaching those classes, and we're going to try to keep them small so that everybody who wants to can participate as much as they'd like. And we have other things going on as well. We have a grammar class, and occasionally we have workshops. So we had a voting workshop a few weeks ago. And because I'm sure you all know this, there's an election in a few weeks, about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So if you are able to vote, it's good to know what to vote, what the election is about. We don't tell people what to vote on or how to vote. We just tell them the information that they need about how to prepare for it. So it's nonpartisan. So we did that a few weeks ago. And each year we produce a book written by the learners in our program. I'm looking for my copy here. Here's one. This is one that we did several years ago called The Magic of Learning. And so we produce a book written by the learners in our program each year. Here's one called, sorry, My San Jose. And so that was a few years ago. And then even before that, we did one called My Journey. So we like to do a book each year. So we have to start that off with a workshop. So we have workshops occasionally, and we're going to hope to do more workshops. So just one-time events where people can come and learn about a specific topic. So that's a little bit about Partners in Reading. The main tutoring. We have some English as a second language classes. And so those are for people who are not yet ready to participate fully with a tutor. If they're struggling to speak English, then they probably want to start with an English conversation class. And we also have a relatively new program called Career Online High School. So this is an online high school diploma program. And we have people go through a series of steps to qualify for the program because they're getting a scholarship that's valued at $1,500. And what that gives you is a chance to complete high school for free. It's 36 semesters and you have to do it within 18 months. So you take one class at a time, one semester. Every class is a semester in length. And it takes 14 days or less, and then you go on to the next one. It's self-paced, it's all online. Even before the pandemic, it was online. And you come out of it with a high school diploma and a career certificate. And so that's another thing that we offer. All of our, I haven't mentioned this yet, all of our services are free. I'm thinking about the questions that Victoria already asked, so I want to cover some of those. Free services from the library and paid for by the City of San Jose and the State of California, the California Library Literacy Services Program. And we also have fundraising from the San Jose Public Library Foundation to raise the money for the scholarships for the high school diploma program. And I think that about covers it. Victoria, you're going to remind me of the questions that I forgot to cover.
Well, first of all, Ellen, I love the story that you shared about your journey, because you shared your journey as an adult learner, right? You had a passion, you volunteered, you went back to school. So that was a cool segue. The first thing is, can you put the links in the box to the California or the online high school? And if they're interested in getting a tutor for PAR, or how to get one, if you could put those in the chat box.
I can do that, but not at the same time that I'm listening to and responding.
Okay, no problem. So my first question is there a wait list to get, if they haven't got their high school diploma and they want to get the high school diploma through Career Online, is there a wait list?
Sorry. I've managed to get one of those things in the chat. I got the Career Online High School thing in there. Mercedes, if you can.
I can get the link for how to become a learner.
Okay.
Thank you, Mercedes.
Appreciate that. So the question was, is there a wait list?
Yeah, for the high school.
Well, I would say there's a wait list for both programs.
Okay.
So yes, because right now we're trying to get back up to speed with all of the tutors and learners that we already have, and trying to figure out what happened during the pandemic. You know, did a lot of people stop meeting, and are they going to restart, or do we need to rematch them? So yes, there is a wait list. We're going through tutor training now, so we'll have a new, very small group of new tutors once they are ready to go. So there is a wait list for getting a tutor for Partners in Reading, and there's a wait list for Career Online High School because you have to go through a series of qualification steps. And the final step is waiting until we have a large enough group to do an orientation. And we're getting close to that. Some of you may have seen the email that went out from the San Jose Public Library marketing team over the weekend about Career Online High School. And we had a big response from that. So we think that some people will get through the qualification process. And once we have a large enough group, then we hold an orientation, and then we consider people who have gone through all those steps for a scholarship. And then, well, let me tell you what the steps are. First, you complete a survey, and then you have an introductory call with one of our staff members. And then from that, you get information about how to sign up for a prerequisite semester. Once you've done that, then you have 2 weeks to complete it. And I mentioned a career certificate. So the prerequisite is going to be in one of 9 career fields. And so you choose your career field, you take the prerequisite. If you finish it within 14 days or sooner with a 70% or higher, then you do a personal interview. And right now we're doing those on Zoom. And at that point, that's when you have to wait for the orientation. People have been waiting for a little while because it's a very small group, and we want to have a large enough cohort group to make it a little bit more cohesive as well as efficient. And then, so if you're offered a scholarship, then you would start very soon after the orientation, and then you'd have 30 days to complete 2 more semesters.
And do you
to successfully pass probation and keep the scholarship.
And keep the scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys offer support to the students?
Yes. So we have now 3 staff members who are spending a lot of time on the support from the library. And every student who enrolls in Career Online High School is assigned an academic coach from the company that manages Career Online High School. And so that's their primary contact. They talk to the coach. They should be in contact with the coach every week just to check in and let them know if things are going well or if things are not going well. That's something that they're expected to do every week.
That's awesome. And what about someone who wants to be a tutor for the PAR, for Partners in Reading? What should they do? They should go to the library's website, and Mercedes, I'm hoping
I can drop that link in too, no problem.
Awesome.
You anticipated my need. So we haven't actually put the new schedule on, so it's not possible to sign up right now, but we're in the process of scheduling our next tutor training session, which will probably be in November. But while you're waiting for that, you can read all the information about Partners in Reading and how to become a tutor. So then keep checking it to find out when we have activated the link to actually sign up. Or you can call our office.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions or comment for Ellen? Okay, and thank you so.
I wanted to. I'm just checking to see if this person is still on the call. She's been having connection issues. Now it looks like she got dropped again. Yeah, but she's in our program, and she has been attending our classes all during the pandemic. She's written a story for our book, and she's checked in 3 or 4 times, but she got dropped again. I was hoping to have her say a word or two.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Yeah, I really want to check out those stories. Go ahead.
I do have one more question, Ellen. I think it was asked for the adult ed as well. Is citizenship a barrier for people to join the Career Online High School?
Excellent question. We do not ask anybody's status. We accept anybody who lives or works in San Jose for Partners in Reading, and anybody who lives in San Jose for Career Online High School.
That's awesome.
And I wanted to go back, something that Kathy mentioned before when she showed that slide of why people join. We could use that exact same slide. Because the reasons are so similar for why people join. And I just remembered I was going to show a picture. This is from one of our previous in-person graduations. This is our city librarian, Jill Bourne, with one of our graduates who was just really overcome with the emotion of the evening of what it felt like to be a high school graduate. She hadn't done it when she was a teenager, and she went back and did that. So I wanted you to see that picture. And does anybody have other questions for me? And I see that Kathy just put something in about the schedule of classes and how to sign up for the East Side classes. So
Awesome.
we hope that there's a continuum of learning throughout, that we're all lifelong learners. I mentioned to you what I've been learning about technology in the last year and a half, and that's only scratching the surface of what is out there. So there's so much more to learn. So I hope you'll all do it.
Awesome.
I just wanted to mention
Go,
that
Ophelia.
I've referred a lot of people to go to PARS for Partners in Reading, Career Online High School, and you guys do an amazing job. All the learners have come back to me and told me that they really enjoy the programs that you guys provide, the opportunities, the linkage, the support. So thank you for the work that you guys do at PARS, Ellen, and Career Online High School.
Awesome.
Thank you. I should say that 4 of our staff here are also interviewers for Career Online High School, and for PAR. I'm not really sure who you're talking about. So Ophelia, that's great to know that we have these connections, and we hope that they will keep growing, so that we can expand our network and our partnerships in the community. So it's great that people go into a branch and they can find services that will help them all over the city. So thank you all if you're a literacy program specialist at the library.
Awesome. And does anybody have any announcements, events coming up, anything that you want our audience to know? Well, thank you for joining us. The month of August is over, and we've been doing this for 4 weeks, and you guys are awesome. Please tell others about our Community Connection Hour on Thursdays from 1 to 2, a place to come and get resources and share and use the connections that you got today. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you.
You all.
Thank you.